Hey guys, how are you going and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. Now, today we're going to talk about something a little bit different and maybe controversial depending on what you think and your thoughts. This is all my thoughts and my opinion, so don't get offended in this in any way. This is just me and what I think. So we're going to talk about Charles Ingram and the case against him stealing £1 million. There was a 3-part series on ITV. The first part is about his wife and his brother-in-law playing the game and whatnot, how the syndicate works. Second part was about him and playing the game, and the third part kind of concludes and is about the court case and what the actual result was. Now, a couple of days later, the people that made Millionaire YouTube channel actually released the raw footage of it. So it's quite interesting to watch that as well. So I've watched everything and now this is just my opinions and thoughts. Okay, so it is a 3-part series. So we're going to talk about that first in detail. So basically this is a remake. So it's him, his wife Diana and his brother-in-law. So his brother-in-law spends thousands of pounds trying to get onto the show and eventually he does. He does well, he earns £32,000. There's this syndicate that come about, and apparently they're people that basically, the questions that you have to answer to get onto the show are really hard. So there's this group of people that basically design a database of all the questions that possibly happen, and they basically help you. So if you have them on the phone while you're getting through, they'll be able to answer the question for you very, very quickly, and that will entitle you to go through to the show. From what I understand, he actually didn't use the syndicate at all. It was his wife and his brother-in-law that did use the syndicate, but he actually never was involved with them. You can also use them for phone a friends, things like that, and help them out. But he never used them for his phone a friend according to the documentary. So now we're going to move on to his appearance on the show. So he flies through first round, but everyone does. It's pretty standard, easy questions. Unless you are someone that just doesn't know a specific thing, you pretty much get through the first 5 questions, no problems whatsoever. So with Charles Ingram, he actually plays over 2 nights. So the first night he does up to, I think it's a £4,000 question, then he comes back the second night. Now on the second night there are lots of coughs in the studio, but there are coughs in the studio every night. Now, in particular, on this night, there was 192 coughs that were recorded on the different cameras. Now, there was coughs all throughout the night. They were on the correct answers and the incorrect answers. So they're claiming that his wife, as well as this guy in the fastest finger first area, actually helped him with the answers and the coughs. But what I don't understand is, so if we look at his wife coughed on a particular question. I can't remember the question now, I'm really sorry. But she coughed. How does he know that was her? That's my big question here. So there was a cough. How does he know that cough relates to his wife? Yeah, he might know what she sounds like, but a cough is a cough. Everyone coughs similarly. You can't work it out. And this is why I think that you can't accuse someone of doing something that actually people do. And it sounds the same on every single person. So there are 2 questions in particular that I'm going to look at in this particular video. So the first one is the one about Audrey's daughter from Coronation Street. He was asked that, and I think it was the £2,000 or £4,000 question. It's quite early on, so people are wondering how this guy who used a lifeline on such an easy question made it to $1 million. Well, first of all, that question's not easy. Well, it is easy if you watch soaps and Coronation Street, but a lot of people don't watch them. A lot of people don't have a clue who these people are. So actually, there is no actual way to say he did or didn't know that. So he asked the audience say it was Gal, and I think it was like 97, 92, it was quite high up. So he went with the audience, which is great. He got through that question. Now another question, which has got a lot of question around, was one about an album that was released. There's 4 answers to which album was released by this particular person. Now there's 4 answers, so he used 50-50 on this question. And he was left with the options of A1 and Craig David. Now he claimed he'd never heard of Craig David, which is kind of a bit suspicious because in the documentary he does actually do some work around Craig David and what he is and who he is, so that's a bit iffy. But if you go back to the question, so he did 50-50, he removed the 2 answers, so that we have A1, which is C, and I think Craig David, which is D, left. Now, he talked through them for a while. Now, most people in that situation would do the same. If I had 4 options and I wasn't sure, I would talk through them out loud or in my head to try and work out what was genuine and what was not. He'd never heard of Craig David, but he went with Craig David. Now, the reason he did this, you don't actually hear this on the tape, which is a shame. And the reason you don't hear this on the tape is because it wasn't isolated. They didn't amplify this, which I think is quite an important point. So apparently the audience gasped when he said A1 after, you know, talking through him for a while. Now, if I got that reaction as a contestant and people were like, I think in my head I'm probably going to go for the other option because those people must know something. They're the audience. They're quite a knowledgeable bunch of people. Look, not everyone knows everything, of course, but a majority gasp, you're going to go with the other option. Now, this bit gets interesting. The raw footage on the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire channel after, which I thought, great, I'm going to watch this because I would like to see how and actually what happened on the night. So raw footage means the unedited footage that is captured while shooting. So to me, raw means you don't change it, you leave it as it is. Millionaire have put this on YouTube as raw footage. It's not raw footage. Firstly, they cut between the questions very fast. They add text in that says, did you hear this cough? Did you see that happen? Did you do this? That is all prosecution basically saying he's done this, he's done that. Where's the raw footage? They've basically just released tape G, or maybe it was tape H, maybe they had another tape after, I don't know. But it just makes me so angry that they've claimed to put this raw footage up, which basically destroys him again, and it's unfair. He hasn't done anything wrong in my opinion. The coughs were consistent all throughout the night. We need to see the raw footage basically, and I think that's the only way we're going to actually be able to do anything and actually give him a fair trial. Overall, my opinion here, and this is very important, this is my opinion, I don't believe he was guilty. I think he was just a guy. He went onto the show. Yeah, his brother-in-law had been on the show previously. His wife had been on the show previously. Yes, this was his third attempt in the fastest finger chair. And I'm not saying he didn't get help to get into that fastest finger chair, I'm not saying he didn't get help to get there. But when you're there, you're in the moment. You're living on this buzz of like wanting to win £1 million. Just think now, how exciting would it be to do £1 million? What would you spend that on? You go crazy. So the fact that he can give this a good go, and the fact he had secured £32,000, if I was in his shoes, I might be tempted to do the same. I think I might know this. Talk through all the answers, talk through the options, eliminate things in your head. Boom, you've got an answer. Well, that is the end of this week's video. It is quite a controversial topic, but it is just my thoughts and my opinions. I hope you liked it. If you did, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. Leave me comments down below letting me know what you think, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'll be creating more content like this over the coming weeks, as well as my quiz night lives, and I've got so much stuff in the works at the moment. So I guess I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm gonna love you, I'm gonna leave you, and I will see you next time for another video. Bye guys.